I have a 10-month-old well child, and I am raising him in the Doman way, but I'm confused if I should avoid dairy and gluten. For parents of well kids, the nutrition question or issue is not as urgent, right, as parents of kids with special needs. That being said, I would recommend a low dairy or gluten diet for well children. And if parents observe intolerances, eliminating those foods entirely. So, for example, when I was a child in the Doman household, we did not have dairy. Now, I'm not saying that we didn't have cheese at like a special event or something like that. We did. Or that we didn't once in a while have ice cream. We did. But generally, there was like no milk in our home. And so really dairy was a special event kind of thing. And it's because my mom observed that when some of us were eating dairy, we were ill more often. We were more likely to have a runny nose, right? And which is something many parents observe, especially with dairy or with gluten. So I would recommend a low dairy and gluten diet. I would recommend a diet high in vegetables and fruits and meats if your family eats meat. I would say for kids, sugar, artificial dyes, and preservatives are the most problematic thing. The other thing that I also want to say, which I don't think gets discussed a lot, is the problems of plastics and how unhealthy a lot of chemicals and plastics are. And drinking, water, for example, out of plastic water bottles. I think it's not just bad for the environment. There are chemicals that are very problematic. I was speaking recently, actually, to a obstetrician gynecologist who I really respect, who coaches pregnant mothers. I asked him, is it a problem for pregnant moms to drink coffee and have caffeine? And he said, honestly, there's very little evidence showing caffeine is problematic for developing babies. But he said the signs of BPA and plastic chemicals that we find in plastic water bottles are likely far more dangerous for the developing brain than caffeine is. And so I think there are other things like that I think we should talk more about those things. And I appreciate the reminder. And hopefully we can make a nutrition course in the future.